Today we have my final mock draft before the actual NBA draft, which I'm super excited about. This is a completely accurate mock draft. This will be every correct pick. Now that I got covered, let's just hop right in. At number one, obviously, we have the Atlanta Hawks here, who I think should trade DeJounte Murray, not Trae Young. I think Trae's too good of a player, honestly, just because he's been an all-NBA player. He's younger than DeJounte Murray. Why would you trade him over DeJounte? So I think they should go BPA here to pair with Trae, just so you can maximize his ceiling. Get rid of Capella, draft Alex Sarr. You can look at Risache. I wouldn't take Klingon here, honestly. I don't know how he's getting that buzz to go number one. I think if you put like an Evan Mobley type of guy, a versatile kind of shooting, great defensive big next to Trae Young, it's just going to work out well. Alex Sarr is definitely the number one pick to me. Number two, we got the Washington Wizards. They're a long ways away from completing their rebuild. They just started. They're looking for elite talent, hopefully a center or a point guard. They also want to capitalize their odds to land Cooper Flagg just because he's such a good prospect next year. Although you do already have a lot of wings, you still can take a wing here. You're looking at Risache, Sarr, if he falls, take Sarr. Klingon here, or Buzelis. Those are my top guys right there. Once again, don't like Klingon. Don't think that raises your ceiling too much drafting him. I think you can get someone similar to him later in the draft, out of free agency, something like that. To me, it's between Risache and Buzelis here. I like Buzelis more, but it seems like the reports say the Wizards like Risache more. So take him. He's got a high ceiling, high floor shooter. Should be able to pair next to anyone pretty much. Even if you already have Bilal and Denny, they can all play together. It'll be fine. So yeah, just going to look for a center later on. We have the Rockets. I don't like any of their options for the third pick. They're trying to upgrade their team. They already have a lot of young pieces that don't get enough time already. So I think packaging this pick for the Nets, try and get Mikal Bridges is the best option here. Whether that's giving them their picks back, some more young players. Do what you got to do to get Mikal Bridges on this team because Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Bridges, Smith, Şengün, that's a great lineup. They should be able to at least compete for the playoffs. But then we have the Nets, who are looking for more talent, probably at the forward position. Their only real core young piece is Cam Thomas. This is a wing and forward league. You need some wings and forwards. Buzelis is my best player right here. I think he's going to be a great player in this league. I believe in his shot. He's going to be a great two-way player. There's self-creation upside, dribbling. I think he's got a great attitude. If you heard some of his interviews, he was like, dude, I'll play anyone one-on-one. I love that. Nets could use that. Or we have the Spurs. They need a point guard, probably some shooting next to Wembanyama. You want to maximize whatever you can to open a championship window around Wembanyama. I have him taking Nikola Topic here for their point guard. He's my favorite point guard of the bunch. I'm not worried about him not playing because if you have a worse record, you have better odds next year. He'll be fine. I think he's the best fit next to Wemby just because he's the best passer, best pick and roll guy, methodical. He can shoot if you need him to. I'm not worried about his shot. He's got nice touch. I think it just makes too much sense for the Spurs here. 5, we got the Pistons. They have too much talent to be where they're at right now. I don't think the 5th pick's going to help them, kind of like the Rockets. They already have too many young guys. They don't get enough time. So I'm looking to trade out or trade back here. Probably trade back. They just got Trajan Langdon. He loves the draft. Eventually, like, hey, whoever wants Klingon, Thunder, Grizzlies, Blazers, let us know, unless Zach Risache is here, because I think you help them with their core need of shooting. What does the trades look like? I don't know. It's too hard to tell. But yeah, I think you trade back, try and get more shooting like a Reed Shepard, Dalton Connect, maybe even Cody Williams later on. Just try and maximize this value. 6, we have the Hornets, who need some defensive wings and forwards and to start building their culture. A lot of their players have had some problems the last couple of years. I think you look at Buzelis, Castle, and Holland. Buzelis is gone. Castle's a little more sure and like foundational than Ron Holland. Castle's like a good person. Doesn't have an ego. He's willing to play a role, play point guard. He can play off ball. I don't believe in his shot all that much, but he can shoot, defend, pass. He makes the most sense for the Hornets to me. 7, we have the Trailblazers. They need defense, size, and shooting. It's hard because they have Ayton, and they also have Simons, Scoot, and Sharp. They're in a weird spot, looking for Ron Holland, Cody Williams, Buzelis, Salon. I don't like Salon. Buzelis is gone, so it's Ron or Cody. I'm taking Ron for them. I think Ron Holland makes more sense as a higher floor guy for them and someone that can maybe start if they needed to these days. But yeah, he's a high upside two-way wing. He just struggled last year. He was thought of as like a top 2 guy going into this year. So great value for the Blazers here if it pans out. 8, we have the Spurs again. They took point guard earlier. Now you're looking to get that shooting. This pick's so obvious to me. It's Reed Shepard. Reed's a perfect complement to the rest of their team right now. Elite shooter, elite shooter. Not as much as a movement shooter, but he can space the floor for Topic, Wemby, Vassell, Sohan, all that stuff. He just makes too much sense here once again. 9, we have the Grizzlies. So obviously they need a center that can play now. If they don't trade up to draft Klingon or trade out of this pick, then I look for someone that can play now for them. I think the highest upside of any guy that's ready to play now is Dalton Connect. Electric. I mean, he's a firecracker. He can dunk, shoot. The Grizzlies love good players. He's a good player. Next, we got the Utah Jazz, who kind of need to decide if they want a fast rebuild or a full rebuild. We're looking for a two-way wing right here. It's just too important in this league. Maybe a point guard. So you're looking at Uzelis gone, Ron gone, Topic gone. So it's pretty much Rob Dillingham or Cody Williams. I like Cody for them better. He's a higher upside guy, super toolsy, good frame. He shot incredible last year from the rim and from three, just a little raw. But the Jazz can give him a ton of reps if they choose that full rebuild. He's got one of the higher ceilings of this entire draft, so easy pick for them. Bulls, I hate this spot for the Bulls. They need size, talent. They're finally rebuilding. Their really only core rebuilding pieces are kind of Kobe White, maybe Ayo Dosunmu. So you don't really want to guard if you can help it here. Cody's gone. Ron's gone. Tijan Salon, Tyler Smith, Khalil Ware. People are hearing lots of buzz about Salon. I don't like him. I'm going to put him here just because he kind of fits what they need. Makes some sense. I don't know. I'm sorry, Bulls, honestly. Fully the Thunder. Need size, a center, rebounding. They could trade this pick. They could maybe try and take a Ware, an Edie, a Missy here, something like that. I personally think it's too early for that. I think they want someone that can play now. So I want to target Edie, but I want to trade back for him because I think taking him at 12 is kind of a waste. So I have them trading to the Magic. You might hate this.
Sucks to suck.
But the Magic need kind of another shot at a like shooting, scoring point guard where it's going to come off the bench probably. Rob Dillingham's that guy. He's kind of sliding here. He was electric in college. I mean, he couldn't be stopped at some points. He's kind of that combo guard, even though he's small. He can shoot, pass, create his own shot, attack the rim. He does it all. 13, we got the Kings here. Kind of need like Harrison Barnes replacement. They locked up Malik Monk. They have Herter coming back. Their guard rotation's kind of full right now. So you're looking for a big. My favorite person here is Tyler Smith. I think he is severely underrated. He shot the ball like really well last year. He had some great weak side blocks. He's going to slot in perfectly at the 4 for the Kings eventually. Him next to King and Murray is going to be insane for just like kick out shots and then like weak side rim protection. I can kind of actually make up for Sabonis's flaws and just make that team work better all around. But yeah, I love Tyler Smith, so it's an easy pick for the Kings for me. 14, Trailblazers again. We got some size, some defense. Last pick, but we're looking for a probably more big guy here. Hopefully, in some way, they can play next to Ayton. Even though it's not ideal, you want someone that can at least, like, if it comes out, would have to do it. You can do it. We're looking at Kyle Filipowski, Khalil Ware, Yves Missy. I like Khalil Ware a lot. I personally wish he's fallen my Pelicans, but does not look like that's happening. He's a great athlete, really good length, measured incredible at the combine. His shot's pretty good. We'll see if it translates. He's a good shot blocker, high upside guy. I think it's a good pick for the Trailblazers, even though it's not perfect. Heat, I think this is kind of the floor for Devin Carter. I don't love him, but people do. He's been killing workouts apparently. He seemed like the most Heat culture guy. I mean, his dad is like connected to there. Plays defense. He plays hard. He rebounds. Maybe they look at McCain or Al Filipowski, but this one seems in the books for me. It's just too simple. 76ers could easily trade this pick. If they do take it, we're probably looking for high floor. They're trying to at least make it out of the second round. They could package this and try and get Paul George. Yeah, some of the targets would be Keyshawn George, Tristan Da Silva, Deron Holmes, Johnny Furphy. My favorite for them there is Keyshawn George. He's like 6'8", measured well at the combine. His shot's insane. I mean, go watch some of his tape. The dude looks so fluid and confident taking some of these like deep jumpers, and he's got the size and the tools to be a good defender. So I think he can kind of catch and shoot, start off the bench, and then he still has an upside to become like even like a Paul George type of guy, a really elite shooter, shot maker, good defender. Those guys tend to be good at basketball and important for your team. Okay, we got the Lakers at 17. Definitely could trade this pick. They are looking for a center, point guard. Could trade LeBron maybe if he doesn't want to resign there. Maybe look at Bronny here. I wouldn't do that. If they pick here or anyone trades up here, they stop the fall of Jared McCain. He's a really good shooter. Not one of my guys in this draft because he doesn't really have a bag. Go watch him shooting. The only move he has is a pump fake. Although, I mean, he makes shots. He makes the shots, makes deep shots. Hard to stop a deep three, but I'm worried about his creation in the league. Yeah, he's supposed to be like a top 13 guy, so getting him here at 17 is theoretically on paper good value for him. 18, we have a second part of the OKC Magic trade. Like I said, OKC needs that center. We get our guy here, Zach Edey. Edey's tough because People are really high or really low on him. He had another fantastic season this year. He's huge. He put up incredible numbers. It's just, will it translate? Is he going to be less effective against actual NBA centers? 19 for the Raptors. They're kind of in a tough spot right here too, because they have a lot of decent young pieces. They don't have obvious needs. I don't think there's an obvious pick for them here. They just kind of want to get better, get more talent. Bruce Brown might be on his way out. So some of the guys we're looking at: Jacoby Walter, Isaiah Collier, Filipowski, Deron Holmes, Shawnee Furphy. I have him taking Jacoby Walter here. I don't love this pick, but I'm at least higher these days, I think, on Walter than other people are. He's twitchy athletic, good shooter. I think he'll be a better shooter in the league. He's like a top 5 guy for a little bit, so he's got pretty high upside. It's just a matter if the Raptors can get that out of him, but if they do, it will be a great return for the 19th pick. 20, we have the Cavs, who I've had tons of rumors surrounding potential like big trades for them, whether it's Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Allen. But yeah, I think they want big depth here, someone a little more versatile that you can play next to Allen or Mobley. We're looking at Deron Holmes, Tristan Da Silva, Filipowski, Jalen Tyson. Tristan Da Silva's been getting a lot of buzz. Makes some sense, so I slotted him here. I'm saving Deron Holmes. I'm saving him. But yeah, he's one of the higher floor guys in the entire draft. Shot the ball well for 4 years at Colorado. Understands the game of basketball. Not the most mobile, but he'll come in, play his role, succeed in his role. Good pick for the Cavs here. 21, we have my New Orleans Pelicans. This is a biased pick. I love Deron Holmes. Hypothetically, we're taking him. But yeah, the Pelicans need a versatile center, playmaking point guard. Probably trade Ingram for like Garland, Young, DeJounte, something like that. We're looking at Deron Holmes, Yves Missy, Filipowski, Adem Bona. Easiest pick of the draft for me, Deron Holmes. He's kind of like a mini Nas Reed. He plays defense. He can switch. He can facilitate some. He shot the ball well. Bring him home, baby. That's my guy. 22, Phoenix Suns. Need a point guard, kind of facilitation for their stars. They could use a center. They can use size. A really small team, honestly, like outside of like Nurkic and Durant. Obviously a trade candidate here. There's been rumors of them taking Bronny here. Missy, maybe Adem Bona too. I didn't put him on there. Tyler Kolek, Isaiah Collier, maybe even Bub Carrington. This is an easy pick for me too. Tyler Kolek, he's got competitive spirit. He's a facilitator, assist machine. He reminds me of Chris Paul, the way he maneuvers. He has a very unique play style and the way that he surveys the floor, the way he controls pick and rolls. I think he's going to be great. I think he'll be a great backup point guard for the Suns team and be an incredible pickup for them next year. At 23, we have the Bucks, who either need some sort of backup center or a Malik Beasley replacement. They already have some decent young guys on this team, so it's another weird pick for me. Move Lopez, they can move Pat Connaughton, they can move this pick altogether. The ones I'm looking at here, Kyle Filipowski, Jalen Tyson, Terrence Shannon, Yves Missy. Pick for me, Kyle Filipowski. He's also a weird prospect. I don't know how he's going to perform the next level. I think he can kind of play the 4 and the 5. So versatile pick here. He can play some defense. He can pass the ball. He can shoot the ball a little bit. A low risk pick here, in my opinion. Someone that can fit easily for this Bucks team. And I think they get like a really good shooting replacement for Beasley. Just easier from free agency than the draft at this point. The Knicks don't need a ton. They were really close to making the finals this year. Looking for Tibbs guys. I think the upgrade they need is not going to come necessarily from the draft. I love Ryan Dunn for them. I think Ryan Dunn is the best defender in this class. He's insane. Incredible worker, incredible rebounder, insane defender. He averaged 3.5 stocks, which is incredible. He just didn't shoot the ball well. He's not the tallest. Might be a hard fit in the league, but incredible defender. 25, we have kind of a riskier pick now. So right here in this range, we're looking at Collier, Carrington, Furphy, Comshay even. I like him. I'm taking Johnny Furphy. He could be a really valuable piece just because, you know, big shooters are so important in this league. He's got defensive upside. He rebounded the ball well for, you know, his position. Big shooter that can space the floor for your stars is always going to be important. That'll be a good opportunity going forward for the Knicks to get the most out of Furphy. 26, we got the Wizards again. Here we're looking for elite talent. They need a center now. You want someone with a high upside. You don't necessarily need them to be amazing next year. Hopefully a good defender that you can pair with Bilal and Denny. That'd be a sick defensive core going forward. We're looking at Yves Missy, Adem Bona, Chomche. I don't know if I do this, but Yves Missy, I'm out on him. He measured not well, in my opinion, at the draft. I think he's too raw. He was a freshman, but he was like 20 years old. He blocked shots well. He's strong for his size. It could be a good gamble. 27, the Wolves don't need a ton here. Need to be smart with this pick just because they don't have a lot of cap moving forward. This could actually be impactful if they got a playable player here on a cheap contract for 4 years. The two things are kind of a defensive wing to replace Kyle Anderson that can actually shoot a 3-pointer. Secondly, they kind of struggle without Ant on the court in the playoffs. Is the 27th pick going to solve that? Probably not. But we're rolling the dice here. We're taking Terrence Shannon Jr. I don't love him, but for here it makes sense. He's like a firecracker off the bench. He's electric. He's not afraid to shoot the ball. Pretty good size, pretty good defender. Just fits too well and be a really good impact player for the Wolves off the bench. 28, we got the Nuggets, who might need a KCP replacement. They also need a center they can trust because they never play like Zeke Naji ever, even though they extended him. We got Bub Carrington, KJ Simpson, Jalen Bridges. Shout out Jalen Bridges. He should go in the first round. He's underrated. A Dembona. I have them taking KJ Simpson here. He could be a bench point guard for them. Kind of like Tyler Kolek. He's a little more aggressive of a scorer than Tyler Kolek. A more consistent shooter than Tyler Kolek. Not quite the assister, but I mean, he's experienced. He's small. He kind of reminds me of Fred VanVleet. I think he could be an instant playable backup point guard day one for the Nuggets. The Jazz are back at 29. We took a forward earlier. We're looking probably point guard, maybe an elite wing here. Bub Carrington, Isaiah Collier, Melvin Ajinça, one of my guys, Melvin. I've been taking Collier here just because he fell so much. He had a decently bad season, but he's like a top 5 guy at the start of the year. His range is going to be crazy for this draft. I think the Jazz take a swing here just because why not? If he hits, he's going to be incredible. Too much of a high reward to not take him here. Already we got the Celtics, just won the championship. They don't need very much. They could use big insurance. You want to maximize your window. Maybe you look someone long term. We're looking at Melvin Ajinça, Ulrich Chomche, Bobby Klintman, Jalen Bridges. I haven't taken Ulrich Chomche. He's really intriguing to me. Some people have him at like 50 on their big board, but he's huge. He can dribble the ball. He can pass. His shot blocking's good. He's really raw. For the Celtics team that just won the championship, he's probably not playing immediately. There's not really pressure for him. And guess what? Porzingis is probably the best mentor for him in the league. So if he's going to get high-end outcome, I think the Celtics is the place to be for him. That wraps things up. There's the obvious correct pick for the NBA draft in a couple days here. You know, do a 30-leg parlay. Bet every pick. What I did, 1,200 extra money. Let me know what you guys think, and see you next time.